Welcome to this episode of Chittranjan Ray Scholar, Season 3. We have been following Professor Ray for from the first season, and somehow the time has come. And now today we have with us Professor Chittranjan Ray, who is permanent director of the Nebraska Water Center. And he is also by training, he is a civil engineer, and he did his PhD from University of Illinois. And he has been a thorough profile where he has been chief environmental engineer at University of Hawaii before Nebraska, and he also worked after PhD at Illinois State Water Survey. He's someone who is really at the top of bridge of quantity and quality, which is very much important for water security. Because nowadays, just an expert of quality or just an expert of quantity perhaps will not work. And he has a lot of work in India also. And so welcome to this show, sir. It is very pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Manish.
What was Chittranjan Ray as a kid?
Yeah, I was born in a very small village. Even now the population is less than 150 or so. And the nearest bus stop was about 5 kilometers. My father, actually, he had another younger brother, which his older brother died just before marriage. So that was kind of big shock for my grandmother, who I have never seen actually. She had died or just died around the time I was born. And I had an older sister. She died at the age 5. So, and before her, there is a long age gap. So from my father's side, 3 surviving sons, and one of the twin sons died, and also the daughter died. That was, child mortality was very high in those days, and especially in the village situation. The uncle's side is younger than my father, and he also has 3 sons. The oldest one is close to my age, 1 year older than me. So we grew up in the village, but it was a bit hard because my older brother went to study in Santiniketan that time, and my uncle was supporting him, and the father came back home to take care of the farming. That was a difficult time. I remember I was small, and the food issue, sometimes they will run out of food towards the end of the season before the new crops are harvested. And I recall sometimes one day they had probably put some of these jewelries or silver or other things, these village people who lend money. I had walked with my father to one of the places. Normally he does in the evening time when nobody looks at it, what he's taking. So he might give a brass pot or some gold or something, or my mother's ornament or my aunt's ornament to bring some money and all those kind of things. But he was working in the field and all those things. So anyway, gradually things changed. My older brother came back, and he got married. He's about 19 years older than me, actually, long age gap. Then he got a teaching job in a college about 10 miles from our village. I stayed with him a year or so. Then he moved to a government college, and that's where I studied, staying with him and his kids, grade 6, 7 in the smaller place, and then went to the other city where he had a government job. So I started there on the 8th grade. But that was a very nice place, actually. In Odisha, I don't know if you know much about the freedom movement. There was a chief minister and his wife, Navakrishna Chaudhary and Malati Chaudhary. They had an ashram school. So that's where he admitted me for the 8th grade. But it was a smaller school, and then the nearby government school had a much bigger program. So I asked him, I want to go to the government school. 9th, 10th, 11th, that's where I studied. I had some good friends, and it was a competitive school because it was one of the places in central Odisha which was under British control for a long time, that had good educational institutions. Besides this government college, they had a teacher training college as well as a police training college. So I had good time there with good friends. So 10 of us passed the high school in first class. So out of 5 sections,
And
maybe.
what will be that year?
74.
74, you passed your 10th.
11th,
and at that time,
11th grade. At
and
that time, our system was 11 years was high school. Then you get 2 years ISC, intermediate science, and then you go into college,
graduation,
depending up. Yeah.
And that time, 60% marks was a huge.
60% was first. Yeah. 30% was a pass grade, 60% was first class. So 10 students got first class from the class of 200 students. A lot of good, good or bad things. It's a nice place, and the headmaster's son was my classmate, and he was the naughtiest guy in the class. A lot of times the headmaster will come and beat him up with a cane in front of everybody.
So who is eventually his father also? I mean,
who was his father? Headmaster. Yeah. Yeah.
And yes.
So yeah, that was good thing. And then there was some competitive angle also. There was one student who stayed in that ashram school. He did very well. He was my good friend. It's a tribal area, so that's where I also got exposed to a lot of poverty. On the Sunday,
what is actually the city name or village name?
And the city name is Angul. That became later on a more industrial city, Angul. It was formerly in the Dhenkanal district. It was one of these Gurjat areas, but Angul had a tribal king, and I think the British took over it because he didn't have any offspring. So that was the first one to be annexed. But then it had 5 or 6 other small kingdoms. Dhenkanal itself had a king. Then Hindol, Atmalik, Talcher is the mine city, coal mine, and all those things, and Palloda. All those are the Kamakshan or Nagar. So those are the subdivisions. So we're in Angul. So this is the place which joins Cuttack and Sambalpur on the highway, about 80 kilometers from Cuttack.